To wire an Ansul fire suppression system to shut down the electrical components under a fume hood, you must follow a specific procedure. Firstly, and most importantly, disconnect all power to the entire system. This is a critical safety step to prevent electrical shock or damage during the installation process. Secondly, install the Ansul fire suppression system itself. Adhere strictly to the manufacturer's instructions provided with the Ansul system. These instructions will detail the proper placement, mounting, and connection of the system components for optimal fire suppression. Thirdly, connect the output of the Ansul fire suppression system to the input of an electrical disconnect switch. The Ansul system, upon activation, will send a signal to this switch, triggering it to interrupt the electrical supply. Fourthly, install the electrical disconnect switch. Again, follow the manufacturer's instructions for the switch to ensure correct installation and operation. This switch is a crucial safety device and must be installed properly. Fifthly, connect the output of the electrical disconnect switch to the power supply for the fume hood electrical component. This connection ensures that when the disconnect switch is activated, it cuts off power to all electrical components located under the fume hood. Sixthly, thoroughly test the entire system. Activate the Ansul fire suppression system and verify that the electrical components under the fume hood shut down immediately. This confirms that the wiring and all components are functioning correctly and that the system will perform as intended in the event of a fire. For more detailed information and resources, consult the Ansul fire suppression system's website at ansul.com. This site provides comprehensive information about Ansul products, including installation manuals, technical specifications, and safety guidelines. Also review the document titled Electrical Shutdowns for Fume Hoods, available at Environment. Activis. Edu. This document offers detailed guidance on designing and implementing electrical shutdown systems for fume hoods, ensuring safety and compliance with regulations. Finally, it is essential to be familiar with NFPA 96 standard for ventilation control and fire protection of commercial cooking operations. NFPA 96 provides comprehensive requirements for the design, installation, operation, inspection, and maintenance of all cooking equipment, ventilation systems, and fire protection systems in commercial cooking operations, including fume hoods. You can find more information about this standard at nfpa.org. Understanding and adhering to NFPA 96 is crucial for ensuring the safety of your installation and compliance with relevant codes and regulations. Remember that working with electrical systems and fire suppression equipment can be dangerous, and it is recommended to consult with qualified professionals such as electricians and fire protection engineers to ensure that the installation is performed safely and correctly. The Ansul system activation triggers the electrical disconnect switch, cutting power to fume hood components. Correct wiring is essential for immediate shutdown upon system activation. Always follow manufacturer instructions for both the Ansul system and the disconnect switch. Verify system functionality by activating the Ansul system and confirming electrical shutdown. Refer to Ansul's website, UC Davis Guidelines, and NFPA 96 for comprehensive details. Prioritize safety and consult qualified professionals for installation assistance. The wiring diagram will visually illustrate the connection points between the Ansul system, the disconnect switch, and the fume hood electrical components. The diagram shows the Ansul system output connected to the disconnect switch input. The disconnect switch output then connects to the fume hood power supply. This configuration ensures that the Ansul system can effectively cut off power to the fume hood in an emergency. Correctly interpreting and following the wiring diagram is crucial for proper installation. The diagram should clearly label each component and connection point. Double-check each connection to ensure it matches the diagram. Any deviation from the diagram could result in improper system operation or potential safety hazards. Always use appropriate wiring gauges and connectors for the electrical connections. Ensure that all connections are secure and properly insulated. Poorly made connections can lead to electrical faults or system failures. Regularly inspect the wiring and connections for any signs of damage or wear. Replace any damaged components immediately. Proper maintenance is essential for ensuring the long-term reliability and safety of the system. Ensure that the electrical disconnect switch is properly rated for the voltage and amperage of the fume hood electrical components. Using an undersized switch can overload the switch and cause it to fail. Select a switch that is specifically designed for emergency shutdown applications. These switches are typically designed to handle high currents and provide reliable operation. Label all wiring and components clearly. This will make it easier to troubleshoot any problems in the future. Use permanent labels that will not fade or peel off over time. Consider installing a remote manual shutdown switch in addition to the Ansul system. This will provide an additional way to shut down the fume hood in an emergency. The remote shutdown switch should be located in an easily accessible location. Ensure that all personnel who work with the fume hood are trained on how to operate the Ansul system and the electrical disconnect switch. Training should include both theoretical knowledge and practical demonstrations. Regularly conduct drills to ensure that personnel are familiar with the emergency procedures. Fire suppression system is designed to automatically discharge extinguishing agent onto the fire. The electrical disconnect switch is designed to automatically shut down the electrical components under the fume hood. This combination of fire suppression and electrical shutdown helps to prevent the spread of fire and protect personnel and property. The integration of the Ansul system and the electrical disconnect switch is a critical safety measure for fume hoods. It is essential to ensure that these systems are properly installed, maintained, and tested. Failure to do so can have serious consequences in the event of a fire. Always follow all applicable codes and regulations when installing and maintaining fire suppression and electrical shutdown systems. These codes and regulations are designed to ensure the safety of personnel and property. Consult with qualified professionals to ensure that your installation meets all applicable requirements. The information provided here is for general guidance only and should not be considered a substitute for professional advice. Always consult with qualified professionals before performing any electrical work or installing fire suppression systems. Improper installation or maintenance can be dangerous and can void warranties. Take all necessary precautions to protect yourself and others from harm. Prioritize safety above all else. The proper functioning of the Ansul system and electrical disconnect switch relies on correct installation and regular maintenance. Neglecting these aspects can compromise the effectiveness of the system and increase the risk of fire-related incidents. Always adhere to manufacturer recommendations and industry best practices for optimal performance and safety. Consider the specific hazards associated with the materials being used under the fume hood. Some materials may require specialized fire suppression agents or electrical safety measures. Tailor your system design to address these specific hazards. For example, if flammable liquids are being used, consider using a fire suppression agent that is specifically designed for flammable liquid fires. Also, ensure that all electrical components are properly grounded and protected from spills. Regularly review and update your fire safety plan to reflect any changes in the materials being used or the processes being performed under the fume hood. Communicate these changes to all personnel who work with the fume hood. Ensure that they are trained on the updated procedures and any new safety measures that have been implemented. The overall goal is to create a safe working environment that minimizes the risk of fire and protects personnel and property in the event of an emergency. By following these guidelines and consulting with qualified professionals, you can help to ensure that your fume hood is properly protected and that your workplace is safe. Fire safety is a shared responsibility. Everyone who works with the fume hood should be aware of the potential hazards and the safety procedures that are in place. Encourage a culture of safety in your workplace and empower employees to report any concerns or potential hazards. Remember that fire prevention is always better than fire suppression. By taking proactive steps to prevent fires, you can help to create a safer and more productive working environment. Conduct regular fire safety inspections of the fume hood and the surrounding area. Identify and address any potential hazards. Keep the area clean and free of clutter. Properly store all flammable materials. Ensure that all electrical equipment is in good working order. The more effort you put into fire prevention, the less likely you are to experience a fire-related incident. The peace of mind that comes with knowing that you have taken all necessary precautions is priceless. Invest in fire safety and protect your employees, your property, and your business. Ansul systems utilize a network of pipes and nozzles to deliver the fire suppression agent. The nozzles are strategically placed to provide maximum coverage of the protected area. The system is designed to activate automatically where fire is detected. The detection system typically consists of heat detectors or smoke detectors. When a fire is detected, the detection system sends a signal to the control panel. The control panel then activates the Ansul system. The system discharges the fire suppression agent through the nozzles, extinguishing the fire. The fire suppression agent is typically a dry chemical or a wet chemical. Dry chemical agents are effective for extinguishing Class A, Class B, and Class C fires. Wet chemical agents are effective for extinguishing Class B and Class K fires. The choice of fire suppression agent will depend on the specific hazards that are present in the protected area. The Ansul system is designed to be reliable and effective. It is a proven technology that has been used for many years to protect commercial kitchens and other hazardous environments. When properly installed and maintained, the Ansul system can provide a high level of fire protection. The electrical disconnect switch is a critical component of the overall fire safety system. It ensures that all electrical power to the fume hood is shut down in the event of a fire. This helps to prevent the spread of fire and protect personnel from electrical shock. The electrical disconnect switch is typically a manually operated switch. However, it can also be automatically activated by the Ansul system. When the Ansul system activates, it sends a signal to the electrical disconnect switch. The switch then opens, cutting off all electrical power to the fume hood. The electrical disconnect switch should be located in an easily accessible location. It should be clearly labeled so that it can be easily identified in an emergency. All personnel who work with the fume hood should be trained on how to operate the electrical disconnect switch. The electrical disconnect switch is an essential safety device that can help to prevent serious injuries or property damage in the event of a fire. The combination of the Ansul system and the electrical disconnect switch provides a comprehensive fire safety solution for fume hoods. These systems work together to detect and extinguish fires and to prevent the spread of fire and protect personnel. Investing in these systems is a wise decision that can help to protect your employees, your property, and your business. Remember to consult with qualified professionals to ensure that your fire safety systems are properly designed, installed, and maintained. Fire safety is a critical aspect of workplace safety. It is important to take all necessary precautions to prevent fires and to protect personnel in the event of a fire. By following these guidelines and consulting with qualified professionals, you can help to create a safer and more productive working environment.